and welcome back to the Filmreelcast. As usual, I'm Stuart, your host. It's Mandalorian time. It's chapter 14 called The Tragedy. And before we get into this, remember this is a reaction. So all I'm doing is literally watching 5 or 10 minutes, and it's my initial reaction to what's happening. I've not seen it before, so I don't know what's going to happen. From previous experience, I'm going to get really excited. I love Star Wars. Remember, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, lucky enough to see the original at the cinema, but I don't know every single character, every single planet, the name of a gun, the name of a spaceship, so I may get things wrong. But I love Star Wars, the passion's there, and you'll see that during this reaction review. So on with episode 14 called The Tragedy. Oh, and just a quick reminder, I've got Cobra Kai Season 1 and Season 2. I've got The Shield, and I've also got other various films. I've only just done Would You Rather. I'm halfway through doing Lethal Weapon. They're all on my playlist. You can all check them out. Click on subscribe, or click on the reminder button for notifications, and you won't miss an episode. Oh, so the opening credits are really, really sweet. They're both at the front of the Razor Crest. They're practicing the Jedi skill that Ahsoka was teaching Grogu. And when they get to the planet Tython, if there is Jedi there at the ancient temple, that reluctantly Mando needs to hand him over. And you can tell by the tone in his voice, by the music, that he doesn't want to do this. But that's his mission. And it's a really touching moment. Part of me hopes that there won't be anyone there, that it'll just be another mission and that they can carry on together. They're such a lovely team. And you can tell, even by the look on Grogu's face, that they really, really are a tight bond. It's a lovely opening scene. So they can't land to get to the temple on the Razor Crest. So Mando said we've got to do it the old-fashioned way with the windows down, and it's so cool. It's like a friggin' Iron Man scene with Mando flying through the air, holding Grogu, and he does an Iron Man landing. It's such a cool scene. I did not expect this to happen. It's really cool. So they've got to the temple, and he's placed Grogu on this big round stone. As you can see from the picture, nothing's happening as yet. So he scans around the stone to see if there's any kind of devices or levers that will get either Grogu sensing something happening or someone will come towards. I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but as yet, nothing's happening apart from those butterflies flying around. And at the moment, Mando is getting a little bit frustrated. Okay, so as they're waiting there, a spaceship flies over, and from the looks of it, it's a slave ship, which is Boba Fett's spaceship. I don't know whether it is or not, but that's what it looks like from initial views of it. That's what I think it is. Remember in one of the previous episodes, we did see him when it was at the start, when he actually had that Boba Fett uniform and he took it for himself. And we saw Boba Fett at the end of that looking at Mandalorian. So I think that could be Boba Fett. I don't know. You're probably watching this, who've seen it already, thinking, you're a prat. No, it's not. But it looks like it. And when he turns round, Mando sees that the Grogu is on this rock. And there's these kind of, the lights are a blue beaming up. And as you can see, and there seems to be like symbols all around it. And due to seeing the slave spaceship, that he tries to reach in and grab him. And he's like the force field or something. It just bounces Mandalorian back onto the floor. I've got no idea what's happening. So Grogu is in this force field thing in the middle of this rock. And no one can get to him. And his eyes are closed. And I just don't know what's happening to him. I don't know if this is embracing the force or just what it is. I don't know at the moment. But no one can get to him. So we've got a bit of a stalemate, a bit of an issue going on at the moment. Grogu is in this tractor beam kind of thing. He can't get out in this force field. Mando has seen what appears to be the slave spaceship just land. And is it Tamara Morrison? Is it Boba Fett? A person getting out? You can see a figure getting out. I don't know who it is. He can't do anything at the moment because we've seen what happens if he tries to touch Grogu. So Mando's just left Grogu up on the top of the hill and to find out what's actually going on, and he's just come under fire. I don't know who's doing it. I've got a feeling, I don't know who's doing it. It's got to be Boba Fett's doing it, but I can't wait to find out. So they've just come face to face. It is Boba Fett. It is Tamara Morrison. He says to Mando, I'm here for the armor. Mando says, you're not getting my armor. You've got to peel it off my dead skin. And he says, I'm not after your armor. It's my armor. It is so cool to have Boba Fett back in the Star Wars universe. I didn't expect it. Remember, I've seen no trailers. I've seen no adverts. I've read nothing. This is such a surprise. So, Boba Fett. I can say Boba Fett. So, Boba Fett says to Mando, the uniform is mine. It belonged to my father before me. He says, I've got no allegiance. He says, are you part of the Purge? And he says, no, this was my father's uniform. I want it. I'm just a simple traveller. I want that uniform back. And when Mando questions him, he says he's got someone on top of the ridge with a sniper rifle pointing right at him. And if you take me down before my body hits the floor, you'll be taken down yourself. Again, there's a real stalemate. But I can say Boba Fett again, because Boba Fett is back in this universe. I love it. So, twists of twists of twists. It turns out that the sniper scope isn't pointed at the Mandalorian, it's pointed at Grogu. This changes things, because as we know, Mando will do anything for Grogu. The stakes are rising as we speak. It turns out that the sniper is Fennec, who appeared in The Gunslinger, which was in Chapter 5 of The Mandalorian. So, another character who's come back. What her allegiance is to Boba Fett, I don't know. But it's a surprise to have her back. A good surprise, because she was a great character. So if you remember, she was left for dead on the planet of Tatooine. Along with, many years back, many episodes back, many memories back, along with Boba Fett. But she opens her kind of, her top. And she's got kind of like hydraulics as in a robot. And Boba Fett saved her life, and due to this, she's in his debt. So I've got no idea what's going on, but it's so cool. And whilst they're talking, trying to negotiate who has the suit, who the suit belongs to, another spaceship flies over. Who the hell is joining them now? And in desperation, Mando tries again to get Grogu out of this force field, and he gets thrown back. And the group split up due to this spaceship landing, and they scan, and it turns out, of course, I completely forgot, it turns out it's stormtroopers. There's a tracking device on the Razor Crest. That's how they follow them there. So there's stormtroopers there as well in the mix. This is going to really kick ass. It's going to be a huge fight. I'm really rather excited. This is so good. So already, as the stormtroopers are leaving their ship, Fennec is already taking them out. I mean, poor old stormtroopers, they're just cannon fodder, collateral damage to the mission, any mission. But it's so good. I love seeing the stormtroopers back again. Do you know, watching this scene, it is so good to see stormtroopers in the daylight, in the outside, so close up. Normally they're in a spaceship. Normally they're just on a planet that is quite dark. And you don't get to see them in all of their wonderful glory in their outfits, their uniforms. It's so good to see stormtroopers in bright daylight, up close, fighting. It is such it's just brilliant. I love it. Damn, Tamara Morrison, Boba Fett is taking out loads of stormtroopers with this massive kind of pole thing. It's really kicking ass. No way, damn, this is savage. Boba Fett sees a stormtrooper who's wounded, crawling on the floor, and you could see the look on his face. He's so full of hatred. He walks over to him, dragging this massive pole, and he swings it like a golf club, and you can see the explosion on the stormtrooper's helmet as he makes impact, and it just takes him out. It's a sick, savage scene. And one of the stormtroopers with yellow kind of tints to his outfit has got this kind of cannon that will fire grenades up the mountain, where you've got Fennec, where you've got Boba Fett, and obviously you've got the Mandalorian and Grogu. It's so good to see different types of stormtroopers with different kind of bits of weaponry. This is sick. Man. To see that stormtrooper on that blaster cannon, the way it is, in the daylight, is so cool. What an image that is. What an iconic image. The stormtroopers alone are just so sick. To see them mounting a blaster cannon, looking like that, looking so good, it's just awesome. I just can't tell you just how good this is. Honestly, I hope everyone has got Disney Plus. I hope everyone has seen The Mandalorian and just seen it. It is getting better and better with every single episode. It's so good. Man, Fennec is stuck behind this rock. The blaster cannon is just got her trapped behind it. She manages somehow to push this massive boulder, which rolls down the hill, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom style, after these stormtroopers, crushing them. As it goes towards the stormtrooper on the blaster cannon, that stormtrooper's shooting it. For a minute, I thought that the boulder was just going to split in half. But it just takes out that stormtrooper. It's such a great, inventive, imaginative scene. So good. Whilst this is going on, Fennec is taking out more stormtroopers. Mando's just woken up and Grogu is still in this force field. I mean, he may as well leave Grogu because he can't pull him out. So no one else can surely get hold of him. But another spaceship's arrived. More stormtroopers are here. Mando has got to go down and help. Boba Fett is down by the Razor Crest. He's taken out some stormtroopers and he's obviously got his eye on getting his armour back. So again, Mando tried to get Grogu out of that force field. He couldn't do it. He got bounced back. So he says, I'm going to protect you. He's gone. And sod's law, he's just gone. And the force field has stopped. So just in time, when Fennec is cornered, Mando comes in and he gets that kind of, those mini rockets that fire from his wrist. And it's like Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. The way loads of little mini missiles fire out and take out loads of stormtroopers. A great scene. Really, really good. So at the moment, Fennec and Mando are cornered. They're surrounded by stormtroopers. Mando's getting shot on his armour. Obviously, it can't breach his armour. But it doesn't look good. Something's going to happen that is going to send me into an fucking hysteria that is going to be so good. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. Boba Fett is on the Razor Crest. Whether he's getting that armour, whether that includes a jetpack, he's going to fly in and take everyone out. I don't know. If he does, I'm going to lose my shit. But they're building it up. Something's going to happen. Whether Grogu is now going to use the Force and take out all of those stormtroopers, I don't know. But I'm just anticipating something just mind-blowingly brilliant happening. You could see me disappointed in a second that it doesn't happen because I've not seen it yet. Okay, out of the sky comes a bomb. Out of the sky means it is Boba Fett. Look at that picture. It is incredible. Haven't we all waited so long to see this image of Tamara Morrison, Boba Fett back again? The original is so good. I'm so happy. This is awesome. Just imagine amazing, and then times it by 10. This is what this scene is. Boba Fett is going kicking everyone's ass. He's just taken out all these stormtroopers on his own while you've got Mando and Fennec in the background. He's just like a one-man army. He's got these kind of like devices where he can punch them and his stormtroopers go flying. He even puts his knee up, and all these devices that were previously on Boba Fett's Mando's wrist are now on his knee, and he fires them out from his knee. So much so, the remaining stormtroopers are running away. That's it. They're actually running away. This is so good. Okay, let's put this in perspective of just what's happened. Not only have all the stormtroopers retreated, they've gone into their spaceships, 2 spaceships, and as they're flying away, that famous rocket that, if you remember from previous episodes, as a child when I was about 7, always thought was a rocket but didn't know, Boba Fett fired that rocket. And he hits the back of one spaceship because he's been targeting it, as you can see in the picture. Blows up one spaceship, which then flies into another spaceship, the next one carrying the stormtroopers, and crashes. It is so cool. It's just brilliant. It's beyond what I expected to happen. It's just brilliant. This just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop whatsoever. From the sky, a massive laser comes down and blows up the amazing Razor Crest spaceship. It's got to be an Imperial ship just waiting above, which the stormtroopers are going to fly back to. Has just taken out the ship. It's so intense, this episode. It doesn't stop giving excitement. As predicted and as hoped in a way, in a sick kind of way, Moff Gideon is above them in a big Imperial spaceship. And he's just said, have the Dark Troopers have been engaged. This is like, remember what I said last time, like Universal Soldier, some kind of elite killing force. But they obviously haven't got midichlorians flowing through them yet, because they wanted that from Grogu, unless they've got that from someone else. But I don't think so. But I think it's just about to get really messy. It's so good. So good. So as you can see from the picture, I mean, just before we talk about that, Robert Rodriguez directed this, and Jon Favreau wrote this. And I don't know if it's pure coincidence, but the Dark Troopers look like the Iron Legion from Iron Man. Remember, Jon Favreau's roots are from Iron Man as well. So whether that's a coincidence, but you've got the equivalent of the Dark Legion stormtroopers kind of coming down to have another battle with Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, and Fennec. And you've got the child, who is unconscious at the moment, but it'd be interesting to see whether he's been kind of charged up with this power and whether he's going to kick ass now. You know, these Dark Troopers are coming down to this ancient temple, and I'm genuinely worried about Grogu, because he's up there on his own at the moment, because Mando and Fennec are racing up to the top, and I'm genuinely worried. That's how good this actual episode is, that it's made me, an adult, genuinely worried about Grogu. So these Dark Troopers just took Grogu just like that. No fight, no battle, no problems. They just walked up and took Grogu, put him on the spaceship, and now they've gone. Boba Fett has realised and told the others that the Imperials are back in force. So yeah, I'm a bit empty, to be honest. I feel a bit devastated. I thought there would be some kind of battle, or whether Grogu would use his Jedi powers and just take out the 4 Dark Troopers, but I feel a bit empty. So Mando goes through the wreckage of the Razor Crest. There's not much left, and predictably he finds that little ball that Grogu was once playing with, and he pockets it. This is obviously something he's going to keep holding on to and looking at when he's thinking of how to get Grogu back. So Mando and the rest of the guys have gone to see Cara Dune, and the reason being is because they want to spring a guy called Meg Mayfield, who can track Moff Gideon's ship, and in doing so can get Grogu back. So they need to spring him, as in that he's locked up in a prison at the moment. So we're on the Imperial ship, and you can see with Moff Gideon that Grogu is in one of these rooms, similar to the room that Princess Leia was in, like a cell, but he's bouncing around 2 stormtroopers. He's using his Jedi Force powers to bounce them around, and he actually chokes 2 of them out and throws them against the wall. Moff Gideon sees this, and he can see that it tires him out, and he even gets like this dark sword against him and kind of not threatens him with it, but can see that using your powers makes you weak, and that if I wanted to, I could take you down using this. And it's a real sad scene, because like Grogu is weak and he's so vulnerable, and in doing so, using his powers, that Moff Gideon can now do it really pretty much what he wants to him, because he says, why didn't you have a nice long sleep? And they're going to take the midichlorians out of him. They're going to kind of experiment on him. So it's just quite a sad ending to an episode which has been really kind of get up and go, really in your face, loads of action, so much happening. And it's just, at the moment, it hasn't ended yet, but at the moment it's just on a bit of a sour note. I mean, kick a man when he's down. Even in his weak state, Moff Gideon has just got one of the stormtroopers to set his gun on stun, and just stunned Grogu into falling asleep. It's so cruel. He's helpless and weak. Leave him alone. So Moff Gideon gives instructions to let Dr. Pershing know, but they've got their donor. It sounds so sick. It's such a morbid way of saying it. We've got our donor. It makes it sound like it's voluntary from Grogu's part. And poor Grogu, it's left with him in shackles. Okay, now this was an amazing episode. It is so good. You've seen just how excited I get. The introduction of Boba Fett, to have Fennec back when I thought she was dead, is a brilliant addition. The action from Boba Fett taking out those stormtroopers, the introduction of the stormtroopers, taking out those 2 spaceships, such a good episode. And it shows how good it is and how impacted it is, that it's left me feeling a bit down that Grogu's been captured and that he's left in shackles. It's so good. It sucks you in so much, this does. It's brilliant. Jon Favreau, credit to him. Robert Rodriguez, credit to you as well. It's a brilliant episode. For me, this was the best one so far. And if it gets any better than this, if it reaches more heights, it's just going to blow me away. But that was so good. If this is the first one you've seen, go back and check out the rest of the episodes on Disney Plus. Then watch this on my playlist. Subscribe as well. Remember, I've got Cobra Kai, I've got The Shield. I've just got lots more things that you can watch. Subscribe, hit the notifications button. Okay, I'm Stuart, and I am mentally exhausted. This has been the Filmreelcast, and thanks for watching.